ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Wednesday, May 15th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK. That's 304-396-8255. Coming up today on the program, we're going to be speaking with Abby Herring. Abby winning gold at the Conference USA Outdoor Championship. So she's going to join us on the program, and we're going to get into what that was like for her. She won the 5K, gold in the 5K, and then she won a silver in the 10K. I can't imagine any of us actually completing a 5K and a 10K all in a 2-day span, but she did it, got a gold and a silver, so we'll talk to her. And, of course, the rest of the show is going to be open to you at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're getting closer to the end of baseball. The Thundering Herd, they got the win against Ohio and Athens last night. How about that? 13-11. They don't like to do things quick and easy, do they? 13-11. Caden Kaiser had a career game for the Herd. He had 8 RBIs, 2 home runs. That's including a grand slam in the 7th. And Marshall only left 9 runners on base. We've been talking about that. Marshall's got to do a better job of getting runners into scoring position. You got to do a better job of bringing runners home. Only left 9 on base. Now, of course, 9's kind of high, but they did win 13-11. If you want to get runners, you want to get them in, you hit a grand slam. That'll help. Absolutely. Marshall scored 6 of 13 runs in the 7th inning, and then Ohio scored 9 runs in the final 3 innings. So they did not make it easy, but the Thundering Herd hanging on and getting the win. So Marshall now 18-34. They're 9-18 in league play. That's important. Ohio, the Bobcats fall to 16-31. They're 11-16 league play. Good luck to them the rest of the way in the MAC. But for the Thundering Herd, 9-18. What has to happen for the Thundering Herd? Well, Marshall needs to sweep Coastal Carolina, and they need Georgia State and Texas State to both be swept this weekend to earn the 10th and final seed in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Marshall has been good at home. 14 of its 18 wins come at home this season. So Marshall has an outside chance, but a lot of things have got to happen. Marshall does not control its destiny here. Marshall has to win out. Marshall loses one game, doesn't matter what the other teams do. Marshall pretty much is done because Marshall won't have enough wins to even get to a tiebreaker situation. So that's what's on line for the Thundering Herd. Game 1 versus Coastal Carolina is going to be early because tomorrow they're going to play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because the conference tournament's coming up. So they got to wrap this thing up by Saturday. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the game starts Thursday, 6 o'clock. We'll have the Saturday game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And we'll talk about what's happening with the baseball team as well with Ryan Crisp. He's coming on the program a little bit later on as well. Of course, we're going to have Abby come on first. We'll talk to her. Then we'll bring Ryan on. He'll tell us about everything that's happening with the baseball team. And, of course, we'll mention again that Colecat tickets, you'll go through Marshall to get those. That season's coming up quicker than you think. So give us a reminder about what you need to do if you want to get those tickets. And, of course, we're going to hear from you. That's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Speaking of the Colecats, since we're talking baseball, Colecats adding right-handed pitcher Caden Jacoby from the University of Missouri. So there's another one that we're going to see. This is going to be fun. This will remind me of the Huntington Cubs because when the Cubs were in Huntington years and years ago, it was fun because you saw a lot of guys that had potential prospects, a lot of players that need either exposure or they're trying to work on some things, but there's some potential here for these guys. So you never know what you're going to see, But this is the fun thing I love about the potential of this team is these are going to be kids. These are going to be really good prospects that are on their way, possibly up, looking to establish themselves, work on things. It's different than other levels of baseball. Now, you've got the minor league baseball season, obviously. You've got the minor league baseball system. You're going up. You're trying to get to the main show. And then you can go back and forth depending on assignments. But still, you've got that high AAA. You've got Major League Baseball, obviously. And then you've got those other leagues where, players are trying to reestablish themselves. They're not in the system. They're either trying to get back or they're trying to get a final shot. I like what we've got coming in Huntington. It's going to be fun because you're going to see a lot of potential, a lot of young talent. So Colecat season's coming up sooner than you think. We've got the home games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Also in the Sun Belt, we've got some interesting news here. It's a good softball league. It really is. And the softball pitcher of the year, Jessica Mullins, Texas State, you remember her. She was really good against the Herd. She was drafted to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League with the 8th overall pick. One of just 15 top college players invited to the college draft to join Athletes United for its 5th season this summer. She is the first Bobcat to be drafted out of Texas State and only player selected out of a Sun Belt Conference school this year. She was really good. This league is good for softball. So Coach Z has got her work cut out for her, but you can't complain about the quality of softball in this league. So if you're going to try to make yourself a name, or at least you're going to try to build yourself a program, you got something to work with because it shows there's a lot of potential for this league to send players to the next level. You can find success out of the Sun Belt. That's how good this league is. So interesting stuff. We got a lot more to dig into, but we've got guests coming up, and we'll talk about all of that when we continue. Our text line is going to be open for you, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got what happened last night in the NBA, NHL, also the NFL making news today. They're going to be broadcasting 2 NFL games on Christmas, and they're going to be doing holiday games for at least the next 2 years. And you know where those games are going to be? Netflix. Get your Netflix subscription going now. It's a little pricey. Wait till the NFL gets on there. You know what's probably jacked up the prices of your favorite subscription services? The National Football League. So right now, you're going to have Amazon Prime. Okay, I have Amazon Prime. I'm good. I got some NFL games on Amazon Prime. Okay, I got that. Peacock. I got Peacock. Great Black Friday deal. It was dirt cheap. It's commercial Peacock, but still, it's fine. I got it really dirt cheap. I got Peacock. All right. I'm good. I'm rocking so far. ESPN Plus. All right. I'm good. ESPN Plus. I'm 3 for 3. NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. Okay. Nope. I got to depend on my good friends over at the local CBS affiliate to make the right call and carry the Bengals game. If not, you can listen to the game right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930. So now, I got 3 of the 4. Add Netflix to this, and this is just for the holiday games. Who's going to fork out extra money just to watch a holiday game? Even if it's your team, are you going to do that? I don't think so. I think you're going to go to, I don't know, you're going to go to one of the local sports establishments in the area that have TVs. You're going to make them pay for that subscription, and you're going to watch the game and maybe have a bite to eat, have a good time. You might have done that anyway. Who knows? You'll be spending time with your family anyway. What a mistake this is. It's a great play for Netflix, but seriously, now we've got to have 5 services to catch all the NFL games we want. We'll talk more about that. Get your text in. But when we continue, we're going to talk softball. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk track and field. And we're going to talk first to Abby Herring. We'll talk about her success on the 5K and 10K. She ran a 5K and a 10K and medaled in both. We'll talk about that when we continue with Abby here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Our new breakfast burrito is a fully loaded breakfast. I don't even know if I have enough time to tell you everything that's inside. 2 fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, 6 strips of bacon, cheese sauce, wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Yes! Now, come and get it. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new breakfast burrito.
Only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Ratliff Pool Center, located in Gallipolis and Jackson, or visit online at ratliffpoolcenter.com. Little Caesars, home of the classic hot and ready pizza. Order online at littlecaesars.com or download the Little Caesars app. Delightfully local, delightfully fresh. Shop online at foodfairmarkets.com.
Get in the groove. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua's Sauvignon Blanc. Kick off the summer Friday, May 17th. It's K&B Pest Control Night with Kindred Valley and Sam Epling on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for June 21st for a ticket to ride to 9th Street Live, a celebration of the Beatles with the Newbies. Friday, August 2nd, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kindred Communications.
Tacos, tacos, tacos.
And margaritas, too.
The second annual Huntington Taco Fest is on, presented by Walking Billboard and Western Regional Casa. Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Enjoy more than 20 food vendors and area restaurants and their unique take on tacos, nachos, and quesadillas. Plus, a plethora of flavored margaritas, Mexican beers, and more. Taco eating contest for kids and adults, inflatables, a mechanical bull, and more prizes. Included free food for a year, Ray-Bans, and more. Plus a chance to win an Apple Vision Pro. All at Harris Riverfront Park, Saturday, May 18th from 12 to 8. Sponsors include Evan Juice Card, Sean Hornbuckle, Edward Jones, Rocco's, Texas Roadhouse, Fairfield U, Legends Barbershop, Stadium Spirits, Hillcrest Landscaping, Summit Community Bank, West Tanapa, Gabby, Casa Grande, Taco Brothers, Modelo, and the Beverage Market. Huntington Taco Fest, Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Get more info on Facebook or at Taco Fest WV on Instagram.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANZESS.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our May edition of The Drive, this Wednesday, May 15th show. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about track and field, the success that was happening for the Thundering Herd. And yesterday, we had Caleb Bowen on. He's Marshall's cross-country head coach. And then we had Kylie Maston on. She also won gold in championship Joining us now on the program, one of her best friends, who she ratted out. We'll tell Abby about it in a second. Abby Herring is with us. Abby not only won a silver in the 10K, she won a gold in the 5K. Not most of us could run a 5K, let alone a 10K and a 5K together, and she's with us now on the program. Congratulations. That's impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't run a 5K and then run a 10K. I don't think most people could. You had to do it on back-to-back days, and I kind of threw your schedule off a little bit because the 10K was delayed right before you ran the 5K.
Yeah, so the 10K was scheduled and it was an evening race. I believe it was supposed to start around 8 o'clock, and there was thunderstorms all day long, and it was lightning, and it was just super cruddy outside, and so they kept delaying the meet, and eventually they just sent us home. And so we got back to the hotel, and I just went to sleep that night and woke up early in the morning to run the 5K. I believe we left the hotel at like 6:30 or something. Maybe it was 6 a.m. I can't remember, but it was super early, and there was just a small group of us, so that kind of screwed up our schedule a little bit. Because the day of the meet, you have to have like a certain nutrition plan. So like for me, it's eating like a bagel for lunch. Unfortunately, a bagel, another bagel for dinner, and eating small increments up until the time of the race. So I had done my pre-meet the day before, and everything was just kind of like tweaked a little bit because the race got pushed back. But it ended up going really well. There was, I think, 4 or 5 of martial athletes who actually ran the 10K and all performed pretty well.
So schedule's messed up, nutrition plans just thrown out, 5K, then 10K, and you still were able to get a gold and a silver, and that's outstanding. So what's next for you now that you've tackled this? What's the next plan for you, you think?
Yeah, so for me, my season actually isn't over yet. Next Thursday, I race the 10K at First Rounds in Kentucky at UK. And I've never been there before. I've never made it to First Rounds. It'll be an interesting experience getting to compete against some of the best of the best.
What's the game plan look like for you as you get ready to do that? You switch from this championship to that now. Is it a little easier just to focus on one event for you instead of trying to focus on multiple events?
For me, I think my training kind of stays the same just because I've already put in the work this season. What I'm doing now is just kind of like maintaining fitness rather than preparing for the 10K at First Round. So it's just kind of like riding out my fitness. It'll be interesting running First Rounds, going from racing both the 10 and the 5 at conference. Kind of going into the 5K, I just had like super fatigued legs, but now I'll be fresh for the 10K. So I mean it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. I've never been to a First Rounds event and track, so it should be fun. The competition's going to be good, so hopefully I'll just run a fast time and enjoy my last meet as an athlete at Marshall.
Has everything lived up to your expectations? Were these your expectations going into this, especially your final year?
Oh yeah, I mean, what I've accomplished this year, it wasn't even on my bucket list or goal sheet or anything. I was just really fortunate and really excited to have run all the times and gotten a gold medal and made it to First Round. So it's exceeded my expectations for sure.
How do you feel you've set up the program now for continued success through not only your performance but through leadership and the way that you are always helping others trying to be their best? How do you think you have left a lasting impact on those to come?
Yeah, I mean, I hope my lasting impact has been positive on the team. I think most people describe me as a very uplifting and positive person, so I've hoped to have kind of planted that seed in my teammates, and even from a coaching aspect, Kylie and I, where we've both gotten gold medals, that might look more enticing for a recruit to come in and see that there have been people who have been successful at this level at this school. So hopefully that helps bring in some more high caliber runners.
I was going to ask you, you've seen this program now for a few years. Can you just express how it's grown, how it's changed in the way that this program has developed while you were on the team, while you've been at Marshall?
Yeah, so when I first got here, our team definitely isn't performing, or it wasn't performing as well as we are now. I think a lot of that had to do with just like maybe like team culture, or maybe just that, I think now a lot of our upperclassmen kind of instilled this, that we're really, excited to be here and excited to work, and we want to work hard. And so I think, we've grown just so much. We've gotten better because, people are just super positive and hardworking. And so I think that's kind of like, at least from my class, which I'm a fifth year, but from my class, we kind of like rubbed off on, the underclassmen and are helping them to be better.
My guest is Abby Herring. She is getting set for the NCAAs. She's going to hopefully win us a gold again and again and again. What's after this? I guess at some point, running is no longer going to be your day-to-day. What's that future look like for you once this is all said and done? As far as you can take this, after it's done, what's this future look like for you?
So I guess I'll answer that in two different ways. Career-wise, I got my bachelor's degree in elementary education, and now I'm working towards my master's in literacy ed. So I'll still be around at Marshall for another year. I'm just out of eligibility. So I'll be completing my master's next year and hopefully, running some marathons. I guess long term I'll be an elementary school teacher, and short term I'll still be at Marshall, still be running around the streets, just not competing anymore collegiately.
My guest is Abby Herring, and all the serious stuff, we're going to put that aside just for a second. Your friend, Kylie Maston, you remember her?
Yes, I remember Kylie.
Big friend, right? You kind of ratted her out about the TikTok last time we talked, and
no.
she's paid you back, and I instigated a little bit, so you can blame a little bit of that on me.
Okay.
According to Kylie, this is Kylie Maston, your friend, you have to have a sweet treat every day after a meal. You have to have a sweet treat every day after a meal, and if not, it gets ugly, according to Kylie.
Oh, my God. Okay, I will say I am a big fan of sweet treats, whether that's like, I don't know, like a piece of dark chocolate or a Yasso bar, which is like a Greek yogurt bar. I'm a big fan of a sweet treat after a meal.
What's your favorite of all the things you mentioned, or anything else? Is there like there's a go-to you have to have?
I don't know if there's necessarily a go-to. It's more of like whatever's around. But like I said, I'm a big fan of Yasso bars. They're like Greek yogurt ice cream bars, pretty much.
Does it get ugly if you don't get your sweet treat? I mean, hangry levels?
I wouldn't say it's on the same level as hangry, but I do enjoy a nice sweet treat after a meal.
And so now Kylie has to also get a sweet treat, right? That's part of the rules?
Yeah, this is true.
So she ratted you out. She wasn't done. By the way, she says, according to Kylie Maston, your friend, that she said Abby Herring thinks that she is slow.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but I do tend to like, I don't know, maybe it's like a humble attribute that I have, but I do get scared going into like a lot of meets or events and kind of like putting myself down at a lower level than what I normally run.
Why do you get scared? Have you seen yourself run? Have you met yourself? Why are you getting scared? The others should be scared of you when they see you.
That is true. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure, but it normally ends up working out okay. So I think in my head, I'm like, if I'm prepared for whatever, then whatever happens will be okay.
Now, I have a different take on this, and I shared this with Kylie yesterday, and I'll share it with you, and you can be honest with me. It's just you and me talking now. I think you're just humble bragging. I think what you're really doing is you're sandbagging, and you're getting into her head. Like, Kylie, I'm just so slow. Because you two are competitive, you push each other because you both want to see each other succeed. And so I think you're just humble bragging and being a little bit of a sandbagger, saying, I'm so slow, Kylie.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
Now it's in your mind, though. Now you're thinking about it.
I know. Now you've planted a seed in my head.
It's like, yeah, Kylie, I'm just slow. I think you've got me today. And then you just go right past her and force her to keep up.
Yeah, luckily we don't run the same event. She's definitely got more leg speed than I do, but I can go farther, so we even each other out.
Is it fair to say that she's your best friend right now on the team, on and off the team? She's your best friend?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kylie and I do just about everything together, whether it's running related or, whatever related. We're always doing something together.
Is that that thing you're going to take away the most when it's all said and done at Marshall? The gold medals, the success, all of that's important, but just the fact that you and Kylie have sort of formed this unique bond and really maybe inspired others to try to emulate your success and emulate what you do. You mentioned culture earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of my biggest takeaways from running in general is that the relationships you make through it, they're going to last a lifetime. And I think that's what's kept me running so long, is just having such a good group of people around me.
My guest is Abby Herring. She won the gold in the women's outdoor 5K. She won the silver in the 10K. All right, before I'm done, I have one question that I have to ask you here. It's on my list here of questions that the intern has put together. What do you think is the most important thing that you want people to remember about you when you're done? What is that one thing when they say your name? What do you want them to say with it?
That's a good question. I'd say, it doesn't even have to be related to running, but just that my character was good and I was a positive influence on the team. All these gold medals and stuff, they're cool, they're fun, and I'm proud of them. But I think what matters most to me is that my character was good, during my time at Marshall, and people have positive things to say about me.
Abby Herring is with us. Go win some more stuff so I have another reason to get you back on the show, will you?
Okay, that sounds good.
Abby, thank you. Congratulations, everything so far. It's been a tremendous ride, and we hope it continues for a long time.
Yep, thank you so much.
That's Abby Herring. I bet she's going to go get a sweet treat right now. When we continue, Ryan Crisp is going to join us. He is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. He comes up next here on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
America Strong. It's what we're all about. And to keep America strong, all Glockner locations are offering our lowest live market prices so you save big. And with our partnership with Kelley Blue Book, the Glockner buying centers are able to offer $2,000 above current market value for your current vehicle. That's how we're keeping America strong at the Glockner family of dealerships.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
In the tapestry of life, we encounter stories of legacy and accomplishment, but sometimes also abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation. Adult Protective Services understands the importance of safeguarding the well-being of our loved ones, our neighbors, and our community. To report neglect or abuse, call 800-352-6513. Sponsored by the Administration for Community Living, West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources, Bureau for Social Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project was supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $383,493, with 75% funded by ACL, HHS, and 25% in the amount of $85,236 funded by state government sources. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by, ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Get in the groove. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua's Sauvignon Blanc. Kick off the summer Friday, May 17th. It's K&B Pest Control Night with Kindred Valley and Sam Epling on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for June 21st for a ticket to ride to 9th Street Live, a celebration of the Beatles with the Newbies. Friday, August 2nd, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kindred Communications. This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our May edition, May 15th edition to be exact, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's welcome to the program now. He is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. He is Ryan Crisp. And Ryan, you've got a busy weekend. We've got baseball still going on at Jack Cook Field. I guess that's a great place to start. We've got Coastal Carolina coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I want to remind people that it's Thursday, Saturday because we've got conference play next week. Hopefully, a lot of things need to happen, but the Herd can make it an interesting next 3 days, try to get into that final spot.
For sure. One more weekend of baseball at the Jack for the inaugural season. So, your last chance to check out Marshall baseball in that stadium for this year. And as you mentioned, the schedule changed to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and just full transparency, looking at the weather forecast, it's a little dicey here and there. So just make sure you pay attention to herdzone.com and our social media outlets for any game time changes or any adjustments that we need to make sure that we get to play the game. But yeah, no, a fun weekend ahead. It's Bark in the Park weekend, which I'm really excited about. On Saturday, we actually have Friday, we have a dog bandana giveaway that we're giving away for people to dress up their dogs. If you're coming to the game and you want to bring your dog, there is a policy and a procedure you got to go through. So make sure you head to Herd Zone. There's a form you have to fill out, just a waiver that basically, checks all the boxes about the legal side of things. Then when you get to the game, after you fill out that form, you'll head to the ticket office, and they will give you a wristband that allows you to get into the game with your pup. So come out, support the Herd, bring your dogs, let them run around, let them have a good time. And let's see if we can get a couple wins and maybe sneak our way into the postseason tournament.
Just kind of not all the details. All that's over herdzone.com. But is there going to be a limit on how many dogs you can bring in, size, limitation of where those dogs can go? Anything maybe people need to know, early on before they decide to come?
For sure, yeah. No limitations in terms of number or size or anything like that. The space inside the ballpark, there is certain areas. So the berms on first and third base sides and the concrete areas and then the right field area are all open. Basically, just no one in the stands, unfortunately, can be in there. And that's just from a legal standpoint and liability standpoint. So no one in the stands, but other than that, it's pretty much fair game. Obviously, they got to stay on the leash while they're inside of the ballpark as well. But once you fill out that form and once you get to the game, there'll be security personnel to help send that message and just make sure we're following the guidelines provided to us through liability and state law.
My guest is Ryan Crisp. So it's been a successful baseball promotion across the country. What made you decide you wanted to do a Bark in the Park type event and try to make it more of a Marshall event? Not just do the same thing over. I know you like to make it at least something that has a Marshall twist to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's, as you mentioned, it is a successful promotion across the country. And so, kind of the best practices in athletics is one of those is you look around the country and see what works and you try to implement it at your place. And so something that we think is unique and something different that you're not able to do a lot, which is bring your dog into the game. But then also it maybe just attracts somebody else or a new fan into our venue. So, someone that has a dog and like, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go to the game and stop at the Austin's ice cream truck and get a little pup treat for my dog and watch a few innings of baseball. And then they come and they get hooked and they realize how fun it is and they have a great time. And so then that next time they're coming, they won't be able to bring their dog, but them and themselves fell in love as a fan. And then we created a fan, which is our ultimate goal. So just open it up to a different market, a new market, as well as, having our fans being able to do something that is not normally allowed.
Ryan Crisp is with us, Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So is it safe to say you can at least wind down a little bit? Softball is done. You don't have a crossover now. You can just focus on baseball for the next few days. Can you wind down? Is there a gap in there?
There's not really a wind down period. It's kind of a change of pace period or a change of direction. So, while we're in seasons and while we have the crossovers and we have everything going on, all those plans are set. We adjust them a little bit as needed based on recommendations and based on things that we have to do. But once we get into where we're in the middle of the summer and in between seasons completely, it's a time for us to completely reset, refocus, look at what we did this past year, look at what we want to do for the following year, and then start getting a lot of that stuff rolling. A lot of the stuff we do takes a 4 to 6 month runway to pull it off on a game day. So there's just a lot of preparation, a lot of prep work, a lot of, crossing the T's, dotting the I's that has to happen for you to get to a point where you can pull things off, pull events off, set game times, make sure you don't have any overlap or the least amount of overlap as possible, and just get everything rolling. So kind of a refocus of where we're putting our attention. Less events, which is great, less nights that we're here, but the workload and the speed doesn't really change. It's just the difference from working events to planning events.
As you ramp back up and get into that mode again, what worked best for you this year? What were you happiest with or most surprised with everything that you've done from an operational standpoint and a fan engagement standpoint?
Yeah, I think there's a few things we look at. One, the fans first approach and our mindset and how we did it. The fans first day back in early August was kind of our first event, and we had great success with that and created some fans there. And then fans first game. So in the exhibition game that was held at our home event, we called it a fans first game, which was free admission. And we created some fans there. We have the ability to track that kind of thing where, were they in our venue and did they come back to our venue? And for the most part, a lot of those fans came back to our venues after attending the free game, which means if they were in there a second time, that means they purchased a ticket. So good data to look at. We made the fan base younger. So looking at that data, I've talked about that before as we wanted to get younger. And that doesn't mean that we got rid of the elderly. That just means that we grew our fan base and we grew it enough in the younger demographic that we were able to get younger as a fan base. And then in-game experience, I think we took a step in the right direction. We added the video boards at some of our venues or upgraded them at other venues. Our music selection was picked with a purpose and with a passion and taking the fans' feedback and putting it into play. And so there were some things that we felt like we executed well on. There's definitely some points where we need to be better at, and those are going to be focal points for this upcoming year. But overall, the fans first approach worked. So we're going to continue to build on that and see what we can do.
Ryan Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletic Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So you've got that sort of schedule change just a little bit, and then you got to get right back into ticket sale mode because, of course, the Coldcats are coming up, the first tenant that's not Marshall to occupy Jack Cook Field. And so, as we've told people, tickets will go through Marshall University. If someone's just tuned in for the first time, they want to go to a Coldcats game, and this is the first time they've ever heard of Paul Swann or Ryan Crisp, what should they need to know?
Yep, no, the easiest thing is head to herdzone.com. Once you click on tickets, you'll see a Coldcat section there. Click on that. We have season tickets on sale. We have single game tickets on sale. It's a good price point for family fun. And, yeah, as you mentioned, it's going through Marshall, which is great. So if you already have a Marshall account, if you buy tickets from us or donate to the Big Green, it's one login. It's just under your HerdZone account. So the Apple Wallet and having the digital ticket and all that good stuff will be the same process. It's not a new process to learn or a new login to have or anything like that. So, nice and easy. Everything's on sale right now. Take advantage of it on opening day, June 4th. Ticket sales are looking good already. So people are excited for the Coldcats for their inaugural season, just as obviously a program, then also their first season at Jack Cook Field.
Just out of curiosity, I don't know if we touched on this. Some ballparks are going to cashless. What's the philosophy going to be at Jack Cook for the Coldcats and beyond?
Yeah, I think we will go cashless. We have quietly trial run cashless at Jack Cook Field this year. We had an option where, if the fans only had cash, we were selling gift cards inside the ticket office. We really didn't promote it as much just to kind of see what the reaction was and how it worked. Surprisingly enough, we haven't had, I think, but one complaint the entire year. And so it's something that I think we'll look to move into all our venues. It's a thing that if you look around the country, it's pretty standard practice. Even if you look locally here, like at Mountain Health Arena, or Marshall Health Arena, they are cashless inside their venue. So it's something that we'll definitely look at. Definitely makes the transaction process faster and adds an element of fan safety, knowing that there's not people with wads of cash in their pocket. And so I think it's something we'll look into. Speeds up the processes, makes things a little cleaner, and something that we'll definitely take a look at for the 24-25 year and see if we'll implement across the board.
Ryan Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. And it was a tough act to follow for you. You did it well. You had to follow Abby Herring. That was a tough act for you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that Abby was on there, and I'm glad that I'm not racing her because I know I would lose no matter the distance. So a great student athlete, a great role model for Marshall, and obviously a fantastic career at Marshall. And her name will be etched in the record books for a while here, I think. She's got some pretty good numbers that are going to be tough to beat.
According to Kylie Maston, Abby thinks that she's slow.
Yeah, I don't know how she thinks that because we actually filmed a commercial with her a couple weeks ago about her breaking records over and over again, and included Marco and had a little fun with it. And so, yeah, I don't think she's slow. I would think she is quite fast.
Okay, so there's something that I didn't know we had coming, a spot with Abby Herring. Anybody else can you tease anything else, or did you let the cat out of the bag on one of them and you shouldn't have?
Yeah, no, we actually filmed another one today with a baseball player, a pitcher that's from a local community. And that one's going to be coming out on Friday through our social media platforms. Be on the lookout for that. Another just fun commercial with Marco and one of our baseball players that pitches as a starter. Has had a really good year, and he's from a local community here.
Okay, keep an eye out for that. Ryan Crisp is with us. So what's next week, man? I mean, are we going to go on vacation with this for a little bit? What's going on? I don't know. You're running out of stuff here. I mean, I know you won't be off, but I mean, what's next? Like fall camps? Or we got to get everybody. We got to get all the coaches on. Just have Ari back on so she can pick on you again. We'll have everybody else on. I mean, what do we got coming up next that we should be looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I think the camps are definitely a big thing. Get your youth in the camp, let them have a little fun during the summer and interact with our athletes. So I think that's a great direction to go. And, I'll hop on as we have certain deals or promotions or talk about plans that we have set for the fall. So camps are a good one, and I'll continue to hop on and we can discuss Marshall Athletics as a whole.
Ryan Crisp is with us. Again, Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, Fan Engagement. Easy to get a hold of. The guy's on social media. You can get his contact information on the website. Always responds to everybody. I appreciate that about you. I appreciate you doing this all year long, giving folks a sort of an insight on what's going on with the university and all the athletic programs. And I can't wait for all the sports to ramp back up again so we can get into another year of this, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate this year, and let's continue throughout the summer and go Herd.
That's Ryan Crisp, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Paul.
Final segment coming up. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 at AM 930.
Hey there, baseball fans. Are you craving a home run of flavor? Step up to the plate and swing for the fences with sliders from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Whether you're a fan of French dip, fried bologna, Reuben, or Southern fried chicken, the Marshall Cafe has sliders that'll knock it out of the park. Each order comes with a side of fries, rounding out your winning lineup.
Hey, take me out to the ball game.
Slide into Flavortown with sliders from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fun and 3rd Avenue, downtown Huntington.
Save big money on everything. Now at Menards. Make quick work of your outdoor cleaning project with Masterforce outdoor and landscaping tools. The 80-volt cordless trimmer is powerful, efficient, and hassle-free. So you spend less time working on your yard and more time enjoying the results. On sale now through May 19th. Check out our wide selection of Masterforce tools and see the rest of our deals on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Get in the groove. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua Sauvignon Blanc. Kick off the summer Friday, May 17th. It's K&B Pest Control Night with Kindred Valley and Sam Epling on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for June 21st for a ticket to ride to 9th Street Live, a celebration of the Beatles with the Newbies. Friday, August 2nd, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kindred Communications.
Tacos, tacos, tacos.
And margaritas, too.
The second annual Huntington Taco Fest is on, presented by Walking Billboard and Western Regional Casa. Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Enjoy more than 20 food vendors and area restaurants and their unique take on tacos, nachos, and quesadillas. Plus, a plethora of flavored margaritas, Mexican beers, and more. Taco eating contest for kids and adults, inflatables, a mechanical bull, and more prizes. Included free food for a year, Ray-Bans, and more. Plus a chance to win an Apple Vision Pro. All at Harris Riverfront Park, Saturday, May 18th from 12 to 8. Sponsors include Evan Juice Card, Sean Hornbuckle, Edward Jones, Rocco's, Texas Roadhouse, Fairfield U, Legends Barbershop, Stadium Spirits, Hillcrest Landscaping, Summit Community Bank, West Tanapa, Gabby, Casa Grande, Taco Brothers, Modelo, and the Beverage Market. Huntington Taco Fest, Saturday, May 18th at Harris Riverfront Park in downtown Huntington. Get more info on Facebook or at Taco Fest WV on Instagram.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Everyone knows the old saying, nothing lasts forever. Well, whoever said that obviously never bought a timeshare. Not only do your maintenance fees and assessment fees go on forever, they go up forever. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Over 10 years ago, I was a timeshare salesman. But once I saw the dark side of the business, I quit. I started helping folks get out of their timeshares. Since then, we've helped over 30,000 families by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-226-8833. That's 800-226-8833. 800-226-8833.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
It's our final segment of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is always 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter writes in and says, Paul, what do you think of the new portal transfer that Marshall landed yesterday? Yeah, he looks pretty good. It's Sue Agay-Noye. He's a defensive tackle coming from Virginia. He's 6'5". He's 298 pounds. Here's an interesting fact about him. He went to Lyndhurst, New York. Significant school for the Thundering Herd. A couple of football players from years gone by gone to Lyndhurst. And, of course, if you're not that familiar with Lyndhurst, of course, we're talking about the Marshall plane crash years ago. And years and years ago, I used to talk to the Latterman family, and they would talk about Lyndhurst all the time. They would bring up the memories they had there at Lyndhurst, and, of course, Marcelo being on the team. Who else was from Lyndhurst? I'll leave that up as a text question. See if you know that. If you've been paying attention, who else came from Lyndhurst? So a defensive tackle out of Virginia. He's got that Lyndhurst connection, and he'll be playing hopefully for the Thundering Herd. Marshall women basketball team making an announcement today. Brianna Ellis hired as an assistant director of women's basketball operations. She previously was the director of operations at Tennessee Tech. So Marshall's putting its staff together, getting it complete. And, of course, yesterday, if you didn't catch the news, Rob Fulford returning to Huntington. He's going to be joining the Marshall men's basketball staff as a associate head coach. Most recently served as an assistant to John Gross at Akron. So, long time coming. It's been good to see how this staff is being put together, and I like the addition Coach Fulford. He could coach the team. That's what I like. If you have assistants, you can look at your assistant, and that assistant could coach the team. So he's going to bring a wealth of knowledge, experience. He's got connections. The Huntington Prep years ago, that network, that foundation he built. I like the hire. Nothing but positive things coming out of that hire, I think, for the Thundering Herd. Don't forget, if you missed anything on the show today, you want to go back and listen to it again, you can get it on our podcast. It's real simple. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, and just search The Drive with Paul Swann, and then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Then it comes right to your device after you subscribe, so you'll never miss an episode. You don't have to go look for it anymore. It'll come right to you. And that includes, of course, we've got the show posting now on YouTube as well. So if you like YouTube, we got you covered. No video, just audio, but still we've got the podcast everywhere that you possibly could be if you can't listen to the show live. And if you do want to try to listen to the show live, best way to do it, of course, the old-fashioned way on the radio. And we've got the app as well. You can download that. Links available at WRVC.com. I knew it threw a lot at you, but just go to WRVC.com. That's a great starting point for all the ways you can listen to the show. Thanks for tuning in to today's edition of the show here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930. I want to thank our guest, Ryan Crisp, the Associate Athletics Director of Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement, and, of course, Abby Herring for joining us on the program. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Then we possibly got a show preempted on Friday due to Pirates baseball. They lost earlier today till Milwaukee. Wasn't pretty. We won't even mention the score. That's how bad it was. Have a great night, everyone.
Retransmitting in Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jarrett Lewis. An open seat on the